All right, so let's talk American Born Chinese episode 3. So, it's based on what happened last week. I really thought they were going to continue on what happened to Jin after he was knocked out. Well, we see him having what appears to be a nightmare. And he's also remembering what happened. That happens later. He's also remembering what happened to him when he looked for Wei Shan in the kitchen. So there's no talk about how he got, he woke up from a bad dream in his bed and he seemed confused. So I don't know if it was because the nightmare was so vivid or because he was basically the audience saying, wait, what? How did he end up there? Why is he, why aren't they continuing on from last episode? So he goes to school, and like I said, he discovers from Wei Shan that all of that actually happened. And so Wei Shan completely comes clean and said that, that he's a heavenly being. His father is the Monkey King. He's looking for the fourth scroll, and he thinks Jin would be his guide. He had a dream that a crane told him this. And the reason he sought out Jin was he came to Earth and he saw the crane mural on the school. And I assume the reason he specifically sought out Jin was because he was having problems getting into his locker and Jin helped him. So obviously that was a test to see who would help him when he needed it. And so it's because Jin helped him that he decided that Jin is the one who's going to be his guide. Now, like Jin pointed out, he knows nothing about a fourth scroll. He knows nothing about Monkey King or the Bull Demon or this revolt in heaven. He knows nothing. Why would he be a guide? But he still is willing to help. Even though, and he's really cool about when Wei Shan is telling him all this. So I can only assume that because he saw Pigsy, that he's like, well, this all sounds weird, but I just saw him fighting a pig, so obviously, there's some truth to this. So, so most of the episode after that was Wei Shan tried again to get Jin to meet Quainan, and he finally agrees. I think it was more of a just fine, shut up about it thing rather than he really wanted to. But almost immediately, Travis asks him, we're going to have a get together. Do you want, a soccer get together? Do you want to come? That they had their rally, and so now they're going to have a get together just to bond as teammates. So instead of going back and telling Wei Shan that, oh, by the way, I have this get together with the soccer team, I'll see you after that. Or whatever, because you could see that when he got to the party, he kept looking at his clock, at his phone. Okay, I need to leave because I'm going to meet with Wei Shan. Why didn't he just tell him? Is it this kiddie thing of, I know what's happening, so everyone knows? I mean, that was just... So he gets to this party, and there are girls there for some reason. And Jin asks the same thing, is Wait, I thought this was soccer get together. Why are they here? And so they play 20 questions with Jin to get to know the new teammates. Now I noticed that Greg wasn't there. Now, I don't know if it was because he's varsity and this was a junior varsity get together, or if it's because he was suspended because of the TikTok. But regardless, no Greg. And so Wei Shan is having fun, bonding with his teammates, and they're making fun of him that he has a crush on Amelia because they assume that he doesn't have a chance in hell with her. Which screams are going to end up together because, that's the way this works. And he's periodically looking at his phone. He's like, I have to go. I have to be somewhere else. And it's like, no, you have to do the Chud run first. Okay. So Travis explains how the Chud run works. And so then we find out why they were playing 20 questions with everybody. He wanted to know what tasks he was going to get them to do. And throughout all of this, Wei Shan just keeps looking out the window, and you feel so bad for him because he's he like Quinan pointed out, he's just looking for a friend. And I forgot to mention earlier in the day, she met with his father, and she convinced him to give her more time to let Wei Shan do his thing. Oh boy. Oh, excuse me. So, and for some reason he was in the form of, I think it was a spider. Which, why? Of all the animals you could turn into, why that? Why a bug? Why something that someone might want to come and try to squish? That was just, and it was a large bug. I mean, what the heck? But anyway, so back to, they're in their house, apartment, whatever it is, and we have an IKEA joke. I was not expecting an IKEA joke. So she's putting together this coffee table from IKEA, and it turns out she put the legs on backwards. So she fixes the coffee table. They're talking, and she suggests to Wei Shan to search for Jin. Search for your friend. And I was seriously worried how this was going to end up, because when Wei Shan approaches Jin, bad things happen because he's awkward, because he doesn't understand how humanity works. So he leaves, and this is where I got confused with Wei Shan, but I'll get to that in a moment. So while Quinan is cleaning up, which, you're the freaking goddess of mercy, why do you need a broom? But anyway, so she's cleaning up, and suddenly a man appears, and he seems taken aback on the fact that Quinan is wearing sweats. Apparently, this is not her first go-around on Earth, because she seems really, really comfortable being on Earth. So this is obviously not her first time hanging out on Earth. So we discover that he's the bull demon. And she's using this magic mirror to see his true face. And apparently he doesn't like it. Which, I'm sorry, why? I'm not familiar with Chinese mythology, so is there a purpose to why he doesn't like the look of his reflection? Why he doesn't like to look at himself? I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting Narcissus, but to be disgusted by your own reflection. I mean, I get it to some extent. I'm not a big fan of a close-up look of my face either. But that's a bit extreme even for me. So she's using that to keep him at bay, which was too bad. I mean, this fight was also hilarious like last week. The actors must be having such a blast doing these fight scenes. But at the same time, I was bummed that I didn't get to see Michelle Yeoh in full Michelle Yeoh mode. But, so she first uses the mirror to keep him at bay, and then she grabs what looked like a red placemat, tablecloth, something, maybe a runner, and used it as she was a matador. And of course he ran towards it like a bull. And they did that a couple of times until she knocks him out. Well, he knocked himself out, but so I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that that was the direction they were going to. I mean, he is a bull, right? But yet, yeah, it was fun. So he disappears, and as she's cleaning up, Wei Shan finds Jin, and Jin is explaining what's going on and that he had planned on coming to see him, but he got distracted with this. So he's explaining what he needs to do. And before I continue, he does come to the school to meet up with Anaj, and Anaj fits him with, it looked like Pikachu. And then he had to sing Despacito because he told his friends that he knows all the words. I was covering my ears because that was just, I made the mistake of listening to Despacito right before this, and so to compare and contrast, yeah, that was just, no. That was bad. So, I mean, I realized that was the intention, but yeah. Then he had to chug root beer, and of course he was gagging because he said it makes him gag, and I get it. I can have maybe one sip of root beer, and I'm like, no, that's enough. The second sip, just, no. But, it is absolutely scary how much I can relate to Jin. It really is. And, so then he has to steal toilet paper from his mom's church so he can continue he needs to toilet paper this big ass statue. His mother, on the other hand, is got a side business, got a side hustle where she's trying to help her the shop that she goes to get acupuncture and to buy herbs to keep it afloat. And so she's trying to help sell these products and make money for the for the business. And so Jin is stealing toilet paper from her church. Wei Shan finds him and scares him half to death. And decides that he's going to help him because this means a lot to him. And I think also Wei Shan wanted to, bond with Jin, not just because of the fourth scroll, but because he just, like Quinan pointed out, he just wants a friend. So it was not just so he could, finish up here and then go to meet Quinan. It was more of a, I want to do this also so we become better friends. So he shows Jin how, because Jin's like, how the hell do we toilet paper this? It's huge. And so Wei Shan shows him how he found Jin, and it was through the iron staff. And he said it was his Uber. So he gets to the top of the statue using the staff, and he's, showing off, he's being a kid, showing him his new toy, which I thought he put the toothpick-sized iron staff into that Monkey King action figure. So, how did he get it back? I have no idea. I honestly thought it was still sitting in, unless that's just a decoy, so he was hoping to confuse the bull demon in case he got to that action figure or whatever. But anyway, so they successfully toilet paper everything, and instead of making it small again and putting it back in his ear, or just holding on to it somehow, he sticks it into the ground because, nobody's going to notice that. He sticks it into the ground, and they're chatting, and his attention is completely not on the staff. Well, who should arrive after Jin leaves? Because Wei Shan's like, you know what, forget it. Go hang out with your friends, You won this, prize. You go. Even though he was fine with it, you could see he was kind of bummed about it. But anyway, so the bull demon at this moment takes the staff from him. And, takes the staff. Because he wasn't paying attention to it. And he now knows that there is a fourth scroll, which he wouldn't have known if Wei Shan wasn't openly talking about it to Jin. And so now it's his mission to get the fourth scroll. So Wei Shan does a walk of shame back home, and everybody knows about it. And Quinan's like, I told you to keep the staff safe. And he's like, yeah, I know. Who else knows? His father comes out. Pigsy comes out. And this other person, which I don't believe we've seen before yet. And the Monkey King tells him, okay, well, before you cause even more damage, I'm taking you home. Now, considering this is only episode 3 and there's 6 episodes, obviously this does not happen. Unless, Wei Shan just happens to go back. After, he comes home, and ditches his father somehow. But I don't think they actually make it back to heaven. But Quinan is content to continue putting her little apartment together instead of going back herself. So, like I said, obviously this is not her first time hanging out on Earth. So let's see. There wasn't much of anything with the dad. The dad was just there. Let's see if there's anything else that I missed. Like I said, the mother is having this side business of selling these herbs, which, that she talks about her herbist, and I don't know if she actually told people where this store is located, because that could be useful information. It's like, yeah, just go to this such and such of address, and you can find all these herbs or something. To get people to go to the store, which that's the whole point, is to keep the store open. But okay. And let's see if there's anything else I missed. I think that's all I have for this episode. There really wasn't a lot of. Most of what was going on was the party. So, and that took up the majority of the episode. So I don't know if Wei Shan ditches his father somehow, because let's face it, he did it once. Or if something else happens, or Jin finds them, or something. So yeah. With that, I think I'm done with this video, and I will see you next time.